Hello Mabuhay, this is Angelo of Mac Designs, and today we're going to do the first video of CriticthisMD. MD. Now what is CriticthisMD? MD? So basically I posted on my Facebook page, as you can see on the screen, and I asked, is there someone out there willing to submit their entries or their works for me to criticize? Now this has to be voluntarily. I don't want to grab someone else's work and just criticize them. So this is mainly for the people that wants to learn more or ask for feedback on how they did on their work. Now I'll try to be fair and honest as much as possible, but I will not promise that I will not be able to offend them, because let's admit it, it depends on how a person perceives someone else's point of view on their work. I don't want to offend anyone, but just in case, so I do apologize. But yeah, so I'll try to do my best on this and hope you learn something on my criticism. We have a couple of entries from Philippines, Singapore, Indonesia, and Thailand. And let's do first the two entries from the Philippines. They were the first one who messaged me on my Facebook page, which is Donald Ray from Team Basics. So shout out to Team Basics from the Philippines, and also Lex Sagala from GMMC. Now let's do Donald Ray first. So for those who are not familiar, this is a master grade 1:100 model kit, which is a tourney. So this is a combination of mixed photos before and after he put some light weathering, because as you can see here, it got some scratches, but on some photos it's quite clean. Okay, so I'll just I'll just run through the photos. Okay, I think that's it. Okay, so first one, I hope you could see this, but if I try to zoom in, so as you can see on the blue parts, the surface is not that smooth, or there's some unevenness. So it's either you put less thinner on the paint mixture, so you might want to try to adding more. I can see that the white and yellow looks good, except for the blue, where in some part are glossy and some part are quite rough. But this could be easily worked on with using a flat matte coat. Then, okay, so for this one, so you added small chips. And one thing that you need to analyze when you're adding some chippings or weathering on your kit is that mostly the weathering or the paint chippings happen at the feet, because it will be prone to scratches when it step on something, or if it scratches, it gets scratched by the surroundings. So I think there's an argument here wherein turn A have this capability to self-heal, but as we know, there's a model kit, right? Some people may not understand that the turn A have that capabilities to self-heal the armors or the whole mecha. So if you have to explain that to everyone, it's quite quite troublesome. So in terms of weathering, try to add more scratches on the feet and then lesser scratches on the other parts. So you just need to determine when or where you should put those scratches or paint chippings. But overall, we're able to add a very small detailed scratches, which is good. At the beginning, I'm having problems on applying this, but I think you did good on that part. It's just that you need to find where you should put it. So most commonly, scratches and paint chippings are being applied on the edges because those parts are most uh, thrown into those type of weathering. Same goes with the shield. Now, if your mecha have a shield, now the main purpose of it is to defend itself uh, from 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 bullets or other attacks by the enemies. So it will have more scratches and weathering. Uh, it could use it as a weapon as well to smash the enemies. So most of the edges get splashed as well. So try to think of that possible scenarios, and it will add more details and realism on how you weathered your kit. Okay, now the gold here, in my opinion, is quite pale. So you might want to choose other type of colors or other type of tone of gold for this, so that it makes it pop. It makes the color pop more. So right now it looks pale. Well, that is my personal opinion. Uh, but I think that is the my only concern here. You could, try to add more tone into it. I think in terms of I'm not familiar with the turn A, so let me clear on that. But I think this is based on the box, it's supposed to be all blade or metallic black or something. But if you use a different color to add accent into it, so might as well make it pop. So the gold here is quite dull in my opinion. Okay, so I think you also added some filters here, wherein we could see a different shade of colors from the weapon. And one of my concern here is that it doesn't actually match on the tone on the model kit or on the mecha itself. It's like someone just used that weapon and give it to the turn A second hand. Okay, so let's just zoom in here. So I'm not sure if this part here is supposed to have black or something, but you can add more details into it, but by coloring it with black or red or a different color just to make the details pop. Same here with the blue here. Now that is just additional detailing. I think it's not required, but if you want to push the details on your kit, you could add more accent colors on this minute details. So okay, so I'm not sure if this is dented within the plastic or just with the paint. But if I zoom in on the clutch, I think that is the most dirtiest thing I have ever said for a model kit. Let's zoom in on the clutch. Okay, so if you think about it, Turn A is quite a confusing mecha design. It's like it is a female body with a mustache and a dick, and your dick is dented. So it's literally a cockpit. So I'm not sure if you were able to fix this, but if not, you could hide it easily by adding scratches into it, so it's look part of the weathering. But these are the things that you could improve more if you just spend more time on cleaning up these errors. I think that's about it, my opinion on this tourney. So ideally, uh, you did great on adding some of the scratches and detailing that you did. uh, I think the decals were put in place properly. Well, except for this one, I think it's not aligned. So make sure when you're lining the decals, it's aligned properly. But overall, this is a good learning curve to try improve on some of the aspects of weathering. And I think that that's it for me for this build. Now let's proceed with Lex Sagala's work. Okay, so again, let's scroll on the photos before we provide our inputs. Okay, so uh, I think this build is a full scratch build, or it was scratch build by Lex Sagala. Yes, so it was his GBWC 2016 entry here in the back in the Philippines, and it's called Gundam Flame Belphegor. Okay, now knowing what Belphegor is, okay, it have similarities uh, with this model kit in terms of the name Belphegor, and as you can see, it's very far from the one that Lex Sagala did. So I think that model kit is more on the advance of Zeta. This one. So if you're going to submit an entry on GBWC, make be wary on the name that you're going to use, because it could have some comparison to other uh, mechas or model kits that is already existing, or there's already an information about it. And you know, if they're going to judge it as a Belpagor, then the first impression, this is not Belpagor. So, but let's not focus on that. Let's focus on the build. So let's zoom in. Okay. So on the white parts, I think you did good, but I could not judge how much or what is the quality on the paint, because as you can see, as I zoom in, it's quite blurry. And one thing I noticed is that you have some smudges here of the paint. I think these are, a masking error. Now, these are some of the things that you could have fixed easily, but this is, a sign of tardiness, or in Filipino, it's term of pwede na yan. Now we have to stop that, mentality that pwede na yan, because that makes a difference between a casual modeler to a professional. Most of the professional modelers doesn't, doesn't exercise that mentality we're in. Okay na yan, pwede na yan. So it's a big difference in terms of the quality, and in a sense, it should push you more if you want to have a better quality on your finished kits. Push yourself more until you reach that level of cleanliness. So these are part of the basic thing on painting model kits, wherein you need to properly mask the parts. So it is part of the judging category if you have properly masked the painted parts, or the surface of the paint itself. So just take note of that. I think the good thing here though is that, as far as I know, you scratch build most of the parts, which is, I have high respect on people who do scratch building, because it's another level of scale modeling, and it takes a lot of effort to do something from scratch. Okay, so for the back part, so this is something in a kit bashing perspective. Now, the lower part doesn't seem to blend well on the rest of the body. Now, you need to be concerned how it looks overall, not just because it's from the behind that no one will be able to see it, or it doesn't give you much concern. So as I said, now if you want to push the quality of your build, you need to think of these things. Does it really look good overall in 360 degrees? If not, what can you do? So as for the weapon, you could push it more. So not just painting it in one color, you could add more details into it. I think this is an opportunity that you miss uh, on adding more detailed colors into it, or accent color, so that it will not just look plain black. But I did this, back in my entry back in 2015. The Barbatos and weapon is just plain black, and the reason for this is that I don't know how it will look like, because the anime and even the model kit are not yet released when I entered my Barbatos on GBWC. But I could have pushed it more, and that is something that uh, I'm regretting right now. But overall, it's a good learning experience. So I think that is something that you should apply as well. If there's an opportunity for you to detail it up, or add accent color, or separate some parts, uh, do it, because it will add more details onto your kit. So another thing is that these have a long neck as well. What's up with you guys with dicks? Puro titi yan puta. Compare natin ha. Yan. See? So talagang unang submit nyo sa akin, puro titi. Okay, so another thing is that paint detailing. So I'm not sure if you missed this part, but make sure that if you're going to, add panel linings or detailing some parts, make sure it is consistent. Also on this part, wherein some part looks dull in terms of the panel lining. So just make sure that you're consistent with it. Same goes on this part. So as you can see, the panel lining stop like here, wherein you could have, continued it on this line. So just take note of those little things, because overall it's being judged based on the consistency of your details. especially if you're joining it in competition, not just in GBWC, but when you're joining competition, that is something that you need to take note of as part of the basics. So yeah, basically that's it for the two submitted work for the first episode of CritictThis MD. I would like to thank Lex Sagala from GMMC and Donald Blay from Team Basic. I hope you learned something from my comments and criticism. And yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for watching this video. Now, if you want to submit your work as well for me to criticize and provide inputs, then send me a message on my Facebook page and just note the CriticthisMD MD. Provide as many photos as you could, and I'll try my best to find on what you need to improve in your technique. And yeah, that's it. So thanks for watching. As always, peace out. Yo, what up, little